Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Lombardo, fractional CMO and host of VendorVibes. Today, I'm here with Megan from Cherish Tours. Hi, Megan.
Hey, Rebecca. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining. So, what is Cherish Tours?
Yeah, so Cherish Tours is really all about empowering women through purposeful travel. So, really, what we do is create travel that champions women through two different ways to travel with us. One being our signature small group tours, which have set dates and a set itinerary that solo women travelers can join in order to join a group of like-minded women around the world on some really meaningful travel experiences. And then the second way to travel with us is our private trips, where they are fully customized for groups of six or more to any of our destinations of expertise. We put those together for you to anywhere you'd like to go, for the dates that work for you, and for any of the itinerary details that you're hoping to have in the destination that you're going to.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we absolutely love doing it. We've been around for 5 years now and really have started this incredible community of women travelers that care about how their travel is impacting the places that they're going.
Is that why you started?
So I think it's a combination of the fact that even now, as a world traveler, I still struggle to find people to travel with. There's not always a Rolodex of people who have the same flexibility and freedom to travel the world with me. So I wanted to create a place that women who have similar um, difficulty finding people to travel with them could find like-minded women to travel with. So that was a big part of it. And then the other part is definitely the impact that I wanted to make on the world. I've traveled quite a bit, and it was important to me to see how I could shift the way that I traveled and start making more meaningful impact in the places that I go.
So, that's really interesting because normally when you go to a place, you go as like a consumer, right? And you go and you consume everything there and around you. So, what does it mean to you to have an impact when you go to a place?
Yeah. So I think it's hard to get rid of that consumer point of view, and you're always a tourist no matter where you're going, unless you end up living there one day. So there's some small shifts that you can make to make a more meaningful impact. And for me, the biggest one is supporting local economy through locally owned and women-owned businesses. There's a statistic out there that says that for every $100 spent on a woman, she gives 99 back to her community. So that tends to be true. And so when you invest in local women, they invest back into their communities, which creates this ripple effect of positive and meaningful impact in the communities that you visit.
That is fascinating and a very interesting approach. I have a couple of questions. So one is, how do you find those people? And the other is, how do you get these women who are like-minded to like travel together?
Yeah. So, how I find women-owned businesses and locally owned business, I mean, AI is a great tool now for those types of things so that you can ask, like, hey, what are some locally owned boutique hotels that I could stay at? And ChatGPT or other AI programs will spit out a few options for you. But also, it's always good to vet that information and check it out. Or if you have a hotel that you're interested in, I think people are afraid to ask, but you can always just ask. Like, go ahead and, as you're making the reservation, ask the concierge or the front desk, like, hey, can you tell me more about the ownership of this hotel? And then, really, I do on the groundwork to find the harder to find women owned and locally owned partners that Cherish specifically works with. But a lot of the times it just takes asking a local, go to the bar, sit down at the bar and ask the bartender, hey, like, what businesses do you frequent? What would you recommend I go check out? Do you know any that are women owned? I'd love to support local women while I'm here. So that helps get people started in that fashion. And really, I think bringing together like-minded women is that we have that core mission of supporting women and locally owned businesses. So it brings together the women who want to travel in that more immersive way and really do it in a way that isn't so centered around checking bucket list items off your to-do list and really focusing more on taking away experiences and memories and learnings from local culture and places and not just consumerism and things.
That's really interesting. Can you share maybe an anecdote about a previous trip that you went on where the travelers you were with felt really happy with their experience?
Yeah. So we just hosted our trip to Panama, was our last trip for 2025. And one of the women came back from that trip and said, wow, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect going into this, but she told me that she laughed harder than she's laughed in years, and to the point of tears, that it was just such an amazing group of women to be around. And she's actually in her 60s, but our travelers are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, really any age. And she just felt like really moved by the fact that women across multiple generations were able to really get along, tell and share stories, and support one another in such a quick amount of time. I think that tends to be true across a lot of our signature group trips because travel creates this really amazing safe space for people when they're removed from their routines and they start lowering those walls. So we really see a lot of the times women who are seeking this community or sense of healing or belonging because they're going through big life transitions like a recent retiree, maybe a divorce or something like that. And that's when people start looking for that community, and our trips really give that to them.
That's fascinating. How do you choose the places where you go?
It's a combination of where the heck people want to go, and watching like the travel trends of what's going on. So, for example, we're looking into launching a trip to Colombia in the future because Colombia's uh, visitors and tourism industry is continuing to grow and become more popular. But then it's also combined with where can we make an impact? Where can we actually support local women-owned businesses? And then lastly is where is there some version of very rich local culture that I feel travelers can learn from?
This is really interesting to be talking about this right now and your approach to this. You know, as we talk about people getting out of themselves, right? And connecting with others who might be different. And so I think it's really interesting how you found that connection point of supporting, locally owned, women owned businesses as such a strong connecting point that it's able to unify these women who might have totally different views on many other things together.
Yeah.
um, it's very interesting that if we could get that one thing in common, and what you're saying about all these, other places to go, if you can get that one common point across, a group of women, that they can all get along and enjoy each other's company and laugh to tears.
Yeah. I think that we like to envision a world where, or I think people are caught up, especially now, in the fact that there's more differences than similarities between people. And I don't know if I always believe that. I think that at the root of it, there's more similar between people than different. That really everybody wants to feel loved and they want to feel like there's somewhere that they belong and they want to feel connection and those types of things. And when we give people the opportunity to have those basic needs like truly heard and met, then they're totally going to get along.
Is that what drives you to keep going with this?
I think really the people I meet are what drives me to keep going with this. Women from every country in the world that I've been to and from many different cultures across many different places are really powerful and strong, and they have really unique and individual stories to tell. And it's just amazing to be a part a small part of those stories and really get to know and learn about cultures from that perspective.
Okay, I'm gonna admit this is probably one of my favorite interviews so far. I have also been traveling internationally from a young age, thanks to my dad's efforts in taking us places. So I too share that passion and love that you're doing this. It's so needed. I hope that it grows stronger in 2026 and that other women are impacting your business as you are becoming a powerful influence in this space and the capacity to like open up these stories. So thank you so much for chatting with me today. Can you tell me if somebody wants to get in touch with you or learn more about Cherish Tours, what's the best way?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Rebecca, first off. And I appreciate you creating the space to have the conversation about supporting women and shifting small shifts that we can do in the way that we travel. I think it's really important. And if anyone wants to learn more or talk more about how they can support women while they travel, they can reach out to me at info@gocherishtours.com, or you can check out our website, which is just gocherishtours.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Megan, for your time today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, thanks, Rebecca. I really appreciate you having me.
Cheers, everyone.